Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about new rider motorcycles. This weekend I took my wife and my daughter down to the motorcycle show here in Toronto. The good one, or I think it's a good one, I don't know. It had a lot of the dealerships there, so we were able to hop on a bunch of bikes for them to see which ones they like. And we've gone over some of the bikes that my daughter really likes, and I'm going to go over the 5 ones that she's picked out that she thinks she would want. I'll warn you, some of them are not, or actually most of them are not beginner bikes, but I'll go over what she likes about them, and it's shocker, its looks and how she feels sitting on the bike. But anyways, let's go over the 5 bikes that they're thinking about, and then I'll give you my final opinion and the one that I think we've landed on that we may actually purchase for the 2 of them when they do get their license next month. Let's get into it. What was really good about this motorcycle show is most of the manufacturers were actually at this show. Other than Indian and there was no Ducati either. Pretty much everything else was actually there. And saying there wasn't a Ducati there was a used bike dealership there that actually had a bunch of Ducatis. But some of the names there, obviously Harley, Suzuki, Yamaha, Honda, Royal Enfield, Moto Guzzi, Can-Am, Sur-Ron, KTM, Triumph, Aprilia, Vespa, Piaggio. So we were able to actually look at and sit on most of the bikes. Pretty much any manufacturer that was there pretty much had their whole range of motorcycles there for you to actually get on, touch, feel. A lot of other places I've been to, they don't allow you to do that, but even Honda had them set up so you were right upright, so you couldn't even lean it over, which might have been a better thing to do to actually feel the weight of some of the bikes, but you were able to actually get on it, have your hands and feet both on it to actually feel if the bike fit you, basically. So yeah, I'll go through the 5 bikes that my daughter thinks are good for her as a beginner bike. Like I said before, most of these aren't beginner bikes and there's no way we would be getting them, but I'm going to go through her top 5 list. So starting at number 5 on our list is actually the Triumph Trident 660. Now, she really likes the looks. She seems to like the naked bikes for some reason. She likes the way you're more upright seating position. She is taller for a 15-year-old girl, soon to be 16. She's about 5'7"-ish, so she's not short by any means, but she's a decent size. So most of these bikes she can flat foot. I know it still wouldn't be a good bike to start on, so that's one of the issues. Let alone the fact that the Trident 660 is way too much horsepower for her. I never looked into electronics to see if you can, do ride modes and stuff like that. To me, that's a non-starter with that bike. The price for it actually wasn't too bad. It starts at just over 10,000 Canadian, so it's actually not that bad of a bike for a 660. In my estimation, I could be wrong. I am new to looking at these types of bikes anyways, but I still think the seat height is a little bit too high for her. She can flat foot it, but again, it's more straight legged. I would prefer her to be more with a bent leg. Now, number 4 on her list is a Harley Softail Standard. Now, this is the cheapest Harley Softail that there is. Now, she really likes the looks of it. She likes how it's all black and all that, right? And the seat height is really low, so she does have a good bend in it, but it's way too heavy, obviously, and the price of it. I mean, starting Canadian, it's 17.5 and up, and that's MSRP, so it's going to be a lot more expensive than that. So that's obviously a no-go. That is one that my wife really does like as well, but again, we're going to be smart about this. Maybe maybe 5 years down the road they can look at something like that. Number 3 on her list which is actually not a bad one, and I'm kind of happy she picked this one. It's actually the Yamaha MT-03. Now, again, she likes those naked type bikes. She likes the more of a straight leg when she's on the bike. But this one here, again, the seat height is a little bit higher than the other ones that I think she should go with, because it's over a 30-inch seat height, 30.7. So although the price is pretty good, it's about just over $6,500 for that bike. One of the other issues I don't like about it is with the Yamaha, you go from the MT-03 right to an MT-07. Now that's a big jump. So that's so if you got the one and then traded it in, you're going way too high. So although we do like that bike, again, I think she would benefit from having a shorter seat height just to get her entry into motorcycling. Same with my wife as well. Now, number 2 on our list is actually a Honda CB650R, which she never got to sit on the CB 500R, which would be the one we would be more looking at, because it is a lot less of a motor. I know it's only 150, but it's a less of a motor for her than the CB650. But again, the seat height, it's almost 31 inches. It's a little too tall. Again, she's just looking at these things as she likes the look of them. When she sits on them, she likes the feel of them. So again, that's one actually where my wife doesn't like the look of it. She doesn't like the look of the MT-03 either. The Trident she does like the look of, but she doesn't like the look of she likes the look of the Trident, and she does like the look of the Harley Davidson. But the CB650 and the CB500R, she doesn't like the look of them, and same with the MT-03. She doesn't like the look of those ones either. And those ones there are way too tall for my wife. My wife's about 5'5.5", and she can't even tippy toe on those ones. So those are a non-starter there to begin with as well. So my daughter's number one pick for what she wants as a starter bike is actually the Honda Rebel 1100. And already right there, 1100 is a no-go. She does like the way it looks. She likes the Rebel look, but she likes the look of the 1100 over all the other ones, because it might have had to do with the color that was there, but everything's a little bit bigger on it. Like the tank is a little wider. I didn't realize even the 300 to the 500, there's a little bit difference. Obviously, it's a bigger motor, but everything's a little bit bigger. So the 500 is a little bit bigger than the 300, and then the 1100 is actually, I would say, a little bit more than a little bit bigger than the 500. For weight, the 300 is 368 pounds. The 500 is 417, and the 1100 is about, for the non-DCT one, is about 489 pounds, I believe. So that it does jump up when you get to the 1100. So after going through all of that, we have discussed it, and what we talked to one of the dealers, the actual dealer there, and what we have kind of decided, and you guys can let me know if this is the wrong thing, but we're kind of thinking we might actually just go with the the Rebel 500. At first, it's like, yeah, we should do the Rebel 300, and then work our way up into the 500. But like I said, it's less than 50 pounds heavier for the 500. You do have the added little horsepower there, and it's not too great. So we're thinking we might actually go ahead and get that as their first motorcycle. We're not completely saying no to the 300. Maybe if we find a used one, we might get the 300 first. It's just talking to the sales guy there. He says after, within 3 to 4 months, most people do trade in their Honda Rebel. Again, it's probably a smart thing to do, but we don't want to really have to go through that hassle of actually having to do that. So at this point, we're thinking we might just go with a Rebel 500. The girls will be able to ride that for the next 2 to 5 years probably before we ever have to think about getting another bike. Where if we go with the 300, we're probably going to have to think about getting another bike sooner rather than later. So those are the 5 bikes that my daughter liked, and my wife, well, she wasn't on board with a lot of them either. I know most of them aren't beginner bikes, but what do you guys think of the compromise with going the Rebel 500 route? Do you think we should go with the 300 for a couple months and then trade it in for the 500? I did look at insurance. For myself anyways on it would be about a $20 difference between the 300 and the 500, so it's not really a consideration right there. I'm not worried about that, but anyways, what do you guys think? Should we go with the 300, work our way up to the 500 after a couple months, or should we just go with the 500 and leave it at that? Or I guess technically if we did go the 300 route, maybe we could get a 500 after and have 2 bikes. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. Until next time. Later.